So Sydney, what do you, like when she says the scope of the role, what does that mean to you? And let's, people that don't do this every day, let's kind of break it down a little bit.
I think it's really important for executives at the beginning of a process to know exactly what they want this role to look like and exactly who's going to be involved from the beginning. That will create a seamless process for the candidate because if people start coming in and changing the job description halfway through and other people start coming in and having opinions that weren't involved from the beginning, that can create delays in the process. That can make the candidate nervous. And especially with an ever-evolving job market, that's something that we want to try to avoid on the front end.
So what I'm hearing you say is that it could possibly turn off a candidate that you're talking to if things are shifting all the time, the players that are going to be involved are changing, and like the job duties are altered. I mean, it would frustrate me.
Absolutely. And we try to tell hiring managers, executives, people who are in charge of the hiring process from the beginning, put yourself in a candidate's shoes. During this process, do exactly what you would want done unto you.
So basically you're saying the golden rule still applies not just
Absolutely.
to our kids, but applies to real life scenarios?
Absolutely, yes.
That's kind of what I heard.
Yes.
Camille, when Jessica touched on the misalignment of compensation, what is that? Break that down to what that really means in today's market.
Well, a lot of companies, if there might be replacing a role and that's why it's open, someone has left. So they're expecting to pay the new candidate coming in the same amount that the person that left the job was making. And that's not the case. That may not be what the market is showing. That may not be market value. That person may have left to go make more money. So you really need a compensation analysis to see what market value is for that position that you're hiring, because your expectations may not be in line with the market or candidates that you're looking for.
I mean, that makes sense to me. It's kind of like doing a health check on yourself or your car getting annual maintenance. How would one go about looking at a compensation analysis? Because I don't think that's anything that people probably do on a regular basis.
Well, we'll have clients come to us and ask us because, hey, like we talked before, we can't find the talent we're looking for, or we keep getting declined offers. We hear that a lot. So we can redirect to our Warren Everett Workplace, which is a consulting group that they can run a position, title, area, size of the company. They can create this really nice deliverable that will show you what the market is bearing.
What they should be paying.
And so then you can look at them like, we are way off, or we're kind of at the low end of the range. Can we be more competitive? Because right now the market is very unforgiving.
So it's kind of like a Zillow.
Yes.
For lack of better terms, yes. It's Zillow for the job space.
And you can get that information if you ask for help.
I like it. Sydney, you talked a little bit about the leadership's involvement in the hiring process. What are the most avoidable things that a company can do that tend to slow down the hiring process?
There are a few things. So you want to find a happy medium with how many people are going to be involved in the hiring process. So you obviously want to have enough people, especially if this person is coming in and they're going to be working with multiple people, but you don't want to have too many people involved because, again, then you start to get a few too many opinions. People want to add things to a job description halfway through, and it just creates this domino effect of things that can derail the process again for a candidate.
So are you trying to say that occasionally there can be too many cooks in the kitchen?
Sometimes, yes.
And then you don't end up with anything to eat.
Absolutely,
right?
Yes.
All right, what about you, Camille? Have you dealt with any specific searches that you've done that have had a real life example of the process is slowed down by having a misalignment of compensation or a misalignment of too many cooks in the kitchen or a misalignment of what the job duties entail or it's ever shifting?
Yeah, I've had it happen where we're headhunting a person that's employed happily. They're not actively on the job market. And we go to them, present an opportunity, sell it really well, and they become interested in this new job. The process takes too long, whether it's we're delayed scheduling interviews because the people at the company don't have availability. So the process is stretching on. And the candidate has an idea sparked in their head that, hey, I'm actually not happy. I am ready to leave. The process takes too long. It's too drawn out. And by the time the original company is ready to talk to them or make them an offer, they have found another opportunity that went by faster, and they've already got another job in the time that it took for the original company to decide that they were interested. So process fatigue is a big deal killer for searches for us.
I mean, that would have to be extraordinarily frustrating on, like, for you as the headhunter and for the candidate. But I guess the candidate wins in the end because they got another job.
It's true.
Right?
It's true.
So speaking of offers, the big O word, Jessica, where have you noted that offers typically may fall apart?
So obviously, if the process is sound, if the process is sound, you'll get to an offer phase. And if you get to the offer phase and it's falling apart, executives will feel that inconsistency very quickly. They should be the top talent, right? So if you've got someone at the final phase, what you want is to be able to have communicated total comp and all the benefits that come with it. Because compensation really just opens the door to the conversation. And you should be prepared as a leadership group that top talent is not just going to be base salary.